Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my new Iron Man Marvel Phase 4 video. There's been a lot of Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. news lately since Marvel's fixing a lot of his plans behind the scenes to adjust for delays because of the virus, but now it seems like we have some more details about how Marvel's planning on using the Iron Man character going forward in Marvel Phase 4 in the movies and the new Avengers Disney Plus series. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're doing an Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave all your theories about Iron Man during Marvel Phase 4. So we'll just break this down top 5 style, starting with number 5, the confirmed stuff that we know about right now, the Iron Man scenes from the Marvel What If trailer that we got just a little while ago. Surprisingly, for a dead man, there is a ton of Iron Man going on during Marvel Phase 4 in all this footage. But here's the thing, even though there's a ton of Iron Man footage featured during all this and a bunch of different Iron Man suits, we'll talk about that in a second, because there's actually a couple cool Easter eggs that slipped through the cracks that I did not see anyone talking about last year. But notice that Robert Downey Jr.'s picture was not featured in the Marvel Comic-Con panel when they were showing off the footage. When they released the Marvel What If trailer, they showed off this one sheet with a bunch of the MCU actors, but I think that these are just meant to be the actors that had already signed new contracts as of Comic-Con last summer in D23. There'll be one What If episode for every single Marvel movie, according to Kevin Feige. So far, that's 23 confirmed episodes total, not including Black Widow. Who knows when we're going to see that movie. But What If Season 1 isn't going to premiere till 2021, and they're only going to do 10 episodes per season, so they're just going to break up the MCU movies season to season. There are 3 Iron Man movies and a ton of other Iron Man appearances in the core Avengers movies, as well as the Spider-Man movies. It would be weird to not do any Iron Man What If episodes. So of course they got to get Robert Downey Jr. to come back for that. Remember when Spider-Man was briefly out of the MCU around D23 when they were dropping this trailer, and everyone's like, what are they going to do for the Spider-Man What If episodes? Is Tom Holland not going to be the Spider-Man if all the other MCU actors are going to be playing their characters on What If? Well, they answered that question when Spider-Man came back to the MCU and they signed that new sharing deal. So if they got him to come back, it sounds like they're still trying to sign Robert Downey Jr. to a new deal. Remember, he is expensive, so they're probably trying to talk him down on price. But when they dropped the What If trailer, because so many people were focusing on the Captain America footage and the Marvel Zombies footage, everyone just getting really hyped up about it, no one was actually talking about this brand new Iron Man armor that doesn't look like anything we've seen before and looks like a modern design, something from around Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So it sounds like it's just an example of the What If episodes that they've been pitching to Robert Downey Jr. and his agents trying to get him to come back. Based on the look of the armor, I also have some theories about when this would happen in the timeline and what kind of adventure that would be for him. Most of the other Iron Man footage in the What If trailer actually focused on the Steve Rogers version of Iron Man. That's for the Captain America First Avenger What If episode, where Peggy Carter becomes Captain Britain, taking the super soldier serum, and Steve Rogers gets an Iron Man suit made by Howard Stark with the design language of World War II. So he's basically flying around in a giant tank. So he's actually a little bit more like War Machine than he is like Iron Man. So they're burying the lead a little bit on Chris Evans coming back to do his What If episodes too, just like Robert Downey Jr., but I think they're still trying to figure out what a lot of those episodes are going to be. Number 4, talking about the big MCU movies, obviously most of the Marvel Phase 4 movies, with a very few exceptions, will take place after Avengers Endgame when Iron Man is still dead. Marvel's already said he's not coming back to life. Robert Downey Jr. said he's not going to rush to jump back into the movies. So most of the Marvel Phase 4 movies are going to use him the same way that they used him during Spider-Man Far From Home. Another really good example is also using a lot of the Iron Man mythology that they set up in those films, like Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. A lot of Iron Man Easter eggs happening in that movie. There's a lot that we don't know about Spider-Man 3, but Spider-Man still has the orbital weapons platform technology in Tony Stark's glasses, so Iron Man is still a big part of their storytelling and what's going on without him actually walking on screen. Number 3, this is the news that a lot of you have been asking me about recently. There have been several reports from blogs all over the place for the last couple of months that Robert Downey Jr. is in early talks to return in an Iron Man Marvel Phase 4 series on Disney+. Not coming back from the dead, because it'd be set during present day, coming back to do voiceover work just like he'd do voiceover work for the What If episodes. If he's already in talks to do the What If episodes, it's not a big stretch to say Marvel would try to get him to do voiceover work in other episodes too. But the Iron Man series that he's supposedly in talks for is an Ironheart series. There were a lot of you asking about this around Comic-Con last year too when they were announcing all the Marvel Phase 4 series. At the time, I hadn't seen any of the larger news sites or official reports talking about Robert Downey Jr. wanting to do an Ironheart series or what that would even look like, who would be that Ironheart character. But a little while after that, Robert Downey Jr. was at an awards gala honoring Jon Favreau, giving this big intro speech, and the person that introduced Robert Downey Jr. on stage was the writer of the Ironheart comic book, and she said he publicly talked about wanting Ironheart in the MCU during that big speech. A couple other big news sites verified that, so it sounds like Robert Downey Jr. does like the idea of an Ironheart series, so it makes sense that Marvel would try to talk him into coming back to do voiceover work for that. I don't know about Pepper Potts coming back. There have been reports that he wants her to come back too, but I think that's just a rumor right now. And Gwyneth Paltrow also kind of retired from the Marvel movies last year, but then after everybody freaked out, they're like, wait a minute, no more Pepper Potts ever? She said she'd always come back to be Pepper Potts for Tony Stark if Robert Downey Jr. wanted her to come back. But number 2, Robert Downey Jr. talking publicly about the Ironheart series. He himself doesn't read a lot of comic books, so it sounds like just a lot of people at Marvel pitched him the idea and the writer of the comic book tried to pitch him on the idea. If they do wind up casting that character, it'd probably be someone like Storm Reed, someone who's young enough that she would be of a similar age to the Young Avengers characters they've already got inside the MCU and the new ones that we're going to meet during the Marvel Phase 4 series, like the Kate Bishop Hawkeye character. If you've seen a lot of the other Marvel Phase 4 Disney Plus videos that I've done for the big series like Wandavision, for the Loki series, and the other stuff that's going on, you probably noticed that Marvel has already confirmed a number of characters that were members of the comic book Young Avengers at one point or another. A couple years ago, Kevin Feige said that they were considering a Young Avengers project. That was before they had announced that Disney Plus was a thing and before they'd launched it. So no idea whether that would be a movie or if it'd be a Disney Plus series. I would love to see a 6-episode Young Avengers Disney Plus series. But because of all the delays with the virus and because of all the stuff they've already announced, we probably wouldn't be able to see that for at least a couple years. There was an Ironheart script that wound up on the Hollywood Blacklist website last year, but it's unclear if Marvel optioned that or if they just commissioned someone else to develop the project. But it does sound like there really is an Ironheart project in some phase of development at Marvel. If it winds up happening, you guys can let me know in the comments, who would you want to play that Ironheart character? Speaking of which, number 1, what about Iron Man's daughter, Morgan Stark? What about the Iron Lad character? He's a founding member of the Young Avengers, and he's the younger form of Kang the Conqueror. This is basically Kang as a little kid. I've already done a couple videos about Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Loki series on Disney+. They're supposed to be doing a lot more time travel villains, and he's obviously a big slam dunk for the MCU. He's also a really big Young Avengers villain, so it's obviously just more Young Avengers stuff in the background of the MCU right now. Hopefully that winds up seeing the light of day. The actress who played teenage Morgan Stark, though, you all remember, is Katherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why. They shot a big scene of her meeting Iron Man in the Soul World of the Soul Stone after he snapped his Nano Infinity Gauntlet. I posted that scene to my channel last year, so I'll link it at the end of this. She said she's always been a big fan of the Marvel movies and she jumped at a chance to do this, so it sounds like she does want to come back, but because she's supposed to be 10 to 15 years older than this young version of Morgan Stark, the only real way to bring her back would be in a time travel story like a Young Avengers story, so maybe that'll happen, maybe not. I'm not going to hold my breath on that. Remember Ty Simpkins, who played Harley Keener in Iron Man 3? He was the older-looking kid in the background of Iron Man's funeral at the end of Avengers Endgame. He said he would love to play Iron Lad in the MCU, but everyone let me know in the comments, what do you think about Robert Downey Jr. coming back to do voiceover work for his What If Iron Man episodes, and what do you think about the idea of him coming back to do some voiceover for an Ironheart series at some point? Just looking at the schedule, they probably wouldn't be able to premiere a project like that at least until 2022 or 2023 at the earliest. If Marvel makes any other big announcements about how their plans for the movies and the Disney Plus series have changed because of the virus, I'll totally do an update video, but leave all your requests in the comments below. Congratulations Mark Capobianco, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here for that Avengers Endgame deleted scene of Iron Man meeting his daughter in the Soul World, and click here for my brand new Morbius Spider-Man video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, I'll see you guys tonight.